Hi there, my name's Mr McShane. I'm a teacher within Inverclyde Authority at Kings Oak Primary. This video today is just a help guide for parents when they receive spelling word lists. You might be at home and you've received your spelling word list on Teams and you're thinking to yourself, what can I do to make spelling exciting for my child? The natural instinct might be to get them to copy out the word several times, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's a great way to learn because repetition and practice makes perfect. This video is just to give you the theory behind the way we've been looking at spelling and phonics within schools in recent years, and just to maybe give you some suggestions on a timetable or other activities that you'd like to do with spelling. So you may have noticed that I used the word phonics earlier. So what is a phonic? Well, phonic comes from the word phoneme, and phoneme is a sound. When we're trying to improve children's phonological awareness, it's trying to get children to recognise the various ways that sounds are made within a word. And the example that we're going to use here is the word aeroplane. So the A sound, it happens twice in that word, so it's at the start and at the end. However, this phoneme, this sound within the word, is made up of different representations. So the first one is made up of AE, and the last one is made up with A stroke E, and this would be referred to in lower school maybe as a magic E. However, in upper school we would try and give the children the correct technical vocabulary, and it's referred to as a split phoneme. Also, if you were to look at other representations of the A sound, you would include AY, like birthday or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or else you would have AI, like the word train. So there are so many different ways. There are other representations of other representations of the sound A, but this is just to give you an idea of what we're talking about when we're referring to phonological awareness. So you'll see from the board behind me that there is a suggested timetable for spelling. You don't have to follow this, it's just to give you ideas. You can see from the board here that I've got a suggestion for Monday's spelling activity, which is opening boxes. A lot of the children will be really independent and they'll say to you, yeah, I can do that, no problem, and they'll just go to work, which is fantastic. But I'm just going to show you how it works, so that if your child's not familiar with it, you can then do this activity. We're going to look at the word aeroplane again. So the first thing I'm going to do before I actually write this in the boxes is I'm going to say the word and then break it down. So aeroplane, A, R, O, P, U, A, N. So I've counted that there are 7 sounds. I've used my hands, and that's often a good strategy to tell your child to do when they're breaking up the word into phonemes, into sounds. Okay, so I know that there's going to be 7 boxes, so I'll start off with my first sound that I've said, so A. And I know that A is not just made up of the letter A, it's made up of the A and the E. The next sound is a letter, it's R, so the letter R. Then we have O, and then O. And this is where it gets to the last sound. So we've got the sound A again. However, it's important to recognise that the E at the end that helps that A become A, it's a silent E. Okay, so how to write this in an opening box. So what you would do is, you would have your A, then your N and E. And just to show that we don't actually make a sound with the E, we would almost do a rainbow or a loop from the A to the E, and that way you know that this is the A sound. We'll move on to Tuesday now, and the suggestion for Tuesday, as you can see, is look, say, cover, write, check. Again, this is just a suggestion and it's fairly self-explanatory. I'll just show you how to do it, you know. So we would maybe start off with the word train if we are focusing on the A sound. So I would have my spelling word. I'll look at it, I'll say the word train, then I'll cover and I'll write it directly next to that word. And then the next thing I'm going to do is check that I've written it correctly. So fairly easy, great way for a child to test themselves, just to make sure that they're spelling the word correctly. So you can see from the timetable that the next suggestion I have is diacritical marking for a Wednesday. Again, it's just a suggestion. If you decide that you're going to do diacritical marking, you might find that your child is quite independent and they're happy to get on with this and they can do it fine themselves. However, I'm just going to show you in case you would like to support them in their learning. So this next screen, it just shows various words that are set up already for diacritical marking if you would like to set up your spelling word list like this. You don't have to, you could just write the word and you can diacritically mark under it. When you're diacritically marking, the first thing that I would normally do is again count the sounds within the word. And then we are going to have a mark for each sound. Let's look at the word birthday, for instance, okay? So birthday, b, e, r, d, a. So there are 6 sounds in the word birthday. So I should have 6 marks, and I'm just going to show you how we actually make these marks under the word. So each sound has either a dot or a line, or if it's a split phoneme, it would have an arc over the top, or sometimes I call that a rainbow to make it more fun for the children. Let's look here. So we've got birthday, b, e, r, th, and you know that is made up with T and the H, so there is a line that goes under these 2 letters. And then you have d, which is another dot, and again the A sound is made up with A and Y, so we have a line. If I then count up the marks, we know before we started we had 6 sounds that we counted out, or we sounded out, and now I can actually count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I normally would put how many sounds there are at the end. Let's maybe look at another one. Let's look at the word afraid. So afraid, a, f, r, a, d. So I should only have 5 marks this time. So a, f, r, a, because the A and the I make the A sound, and then d. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully that explains diacritical marking for you. Looking at Thursday, it might be an idea just to do something fun. Some people may ask their parent to turn round and your child can write their spelling words on your back and you have to guess what kind of words, but there are a few other suggestions that I have here that you can maybe do. You know, you could get a baking tray or even a plate, and you can maybe pour salt or sugar on the plate, and your child can write the words using their finger and the salt or the sugar, which is quite fun. This would probably be a good activity for children in primary 1 to 3. Maybe another activity you could have, and this would maybe be better targeted for, you know, children from primary 3 right through to 7. It could be your scribble spelling, where you maybe just get a blank piece of paper, you draw intertwining lines with a black pen, and then in each section you practice your spelling words, and it looks quite decorative. So hopefully that's a few wee suggestions that you can use for some fun spelling activities. On Friday, it might be an idea to test your child on their spelling words. This is sometimes what we will do in school. We'll have a wee test at the end of the week just to make sure the children have grasped the spelling words. And how's this normally done? So, for instance, if 3 of the words that we had in our spelling test were face, place, and race, you would maybe say, number 1, face. And after you've said the word, you would then give the child a sentence with the word so they can hear it in context and how that word works amongst other words. So the boy went into the shop and forgot his mask to cover his face. And then you would repeat the word again, face. Okay, and then you can move on. Number 2, place. My favourite place to go at the weekend is the park. Place. Number 3, race. The boy finished 2nd place in the egg and spoon race. I was moving quite quickly between numbers there. However, you can take your time. Just make sure that your child knows what the word is, they hear the sentence, to hear it in context. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this has been a help for you, just to give you some ideas and some of the theory behind spelling and phonics, and good luck. Any questions, feel free to get in touch with myself on Twitter, on Teams, or with the school. Thank you.